welcome to the Flourish with Dr. B podcast. Our mission is inspiring people to flourish in mind, body, and spirit. I'm Dr. B, and this is my honey, BZ or Ben.
And here in the Hive, we share conversations and wisdom and stories of resilience, really to help people live healthier, live stronger, and more meaningful lives. And so, with that, we wanted to bring on our very first ever guest because actually he was the first podcaster that ever had Dr. B as a guest, and we just thought it was so apropos. Now, I have to tell you, when we were thinking about today's first guest, we were thinking like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be amazing if we had somebody that was like a military veteran? That would be amazing. That would be totally enough.
Amazing.
But then we were like, wait, what if he was like a international best-selling author? That alone would be amazing. But then we were like, wait a minute. What if he was like, I don't know, a international podcaster in like over 40 countries? Unbelievable. That would be a great guess. Then we were like, wait. What if there was something like absolutely off the chain? Like he was like a World Wrestling Federation referee on television. That alone would be unbelievable. But all of these things and so much more, an amazing husband, father, community figure, and the list goes on and on. Our great true friend Marc Hayford is here with us. He's amazing, and we just can't wait to introduce him to you because he is all about flourishing. And so, Dr. B, I don't know if you want to share.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that when I was writing my first book and kind of just like, what do I do? How do I do this? I basically texted my good friend Marc Hayford or Hafe, and he said, "Don't worry, I got you." And literally, this man drops everything whenever I text him, led us through the whole process. Never, I mean, he's got 3 books that are bestsellers on Amazon, and he never kept anything from me. No secrets, just shared and shared and shared. And then he asked me to be a guest on his podcast, and now we have him in our hive as the first guest of our podcast. So without further ado, I want to welcome you, Hafe, as we so lovingly and endearingly call you, to our new podcast.
Wow, what an intro. I'll Venmo you guys in about 20 minutes. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
We
It's
didn't even mention the best DJ
Oh my
ever.
gosh.
Oh my gosh. Like
The best DJ ever.
Thank you.
Ever.
Hey, I think you got to do what you love to do, right? I mean, look, we're not here forever, right? So ooh, this is something that really gets under my skin when I hear I speak to a lot of youth. That's I speak to businesses and sports teams and the whole thing, but I really have a heart for our youth. So I like last year I talked to over 20,000 students, and something that when I hear some of these other speakers give advice to our young people out there, and it's like, yeah, hey, give up, don't follow your passions, don't follow your dreams. I understand you want to be practical and all that, right? But here's the thing. It's all hard. It's all hard. Like it's so pick your heart. You might as well love what you do. Like my Mondays don't suck, right? I have 2 jobs that I receive income for. One is I entertain people, which I've done for almost a quarter of a century. When I had Bon Jovi hair like you, Ben, it was a whole thing, but it was but the other thing is I get to encourage and like not to go in all different directions here. We don't have a whole lot of time, but I thought about it for a while. Mark Twain, one of the great authors of our time, had said that one of his quotes is the 2 greatest days of your life. It's the day you were born and then the day you realize why. And when I realized why, it's actually biblical, which like, what are you talking about, bro? So, hey, we're taping this a day after St. Patrick's Day. Spoiler alert behind the scenes here, right? And we're talking about the saint, St. Paul wrote the book of Romans. And in the book of Romans, it talks about having spiritual gifts. One of those spiritual gifts is exhortation. What does that mean? It's encouragement, it's guiding, right? And that's what my entire life has been about. And now that's what I get to do every day, whether it's when I do mindset coaching or I'm stepping on a stage somewhere or I'm talking to hundreds of teenagers or, this company where they're streaming it internationally, but people need to be lifted up. The 2020s are sideways, bro. Like we need to play all out. We need to step forward. And too many times we're holding back. We're filled with anxiety. We're a society of anxiety, right? We're overthinking till we paralyze ourselves with fear. Don't do anything. I'm like yelling at you guys. You didn't even do anything. I'm just hype. I'm hyped. Let's go.
That,
Well,
you know what? That is so great. And
I just want to say, coming from a pediatric standpoint, I think the work that you're doing is absolutely golden because it's a
Thank you.
really difficult audience that you have. And I'm sure it starts out with like, all right, let's see what this guy has to say.
Oh
To
yeah.
see those things on LinkedIn and all your posts where you have these kids freaking out, screaming, so excited, taking selfies with you. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to say that I would not be surprised if 10, 20, 30 years down the line, they're like, remember that guy, Marc Hayford, who came
Mm,
to our school and said this? Well, when he said this, this is what it turned into for me. And you can't underestimate the ripple effect and the butterfly effect from that. So kudos to you. I think it's a
thank
tough
you.
market, the tough audience.
Well, yes and no, right? First of all, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I love working with the youth, right? They're our future, and there's going to be a day, hopefully not too soon, where I can't. But for now, well, I'm still in my mind young enough, strong enough, able to, mentally strong enough. I want to lift them up. I want to give them practical tools for life and for navigating. And, if that's my job, it's that old saying, people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. I step into any audience, and I don't reach all of them, right? We were in high school, we were in middle school, we know how it is, right? Our attention spans are like this, especially today. It's kind of like this guy's sleeping in the back, this one's texting, this one's waiting to clown on me. Who's this guy talking at me? What's he? And then once we get into it, it's kind of like, oh, and then within a few minutes, I see like the leaning in. And I love it because I'm not good at many things. Fun fact, I'm not going to fix that hole in the wall. You don't want me changing your oil. You absolutely don't want me making you pancakes, friends. Okay, ask my family. But give me the microphone and give me that tough audience. When I am vetted by the school psychologist and all the things, and they want to make sure like I'm actually the real deal. Um, the top two reasons that I've heard we don't do assemblies. Number two is finances. Number one is because, oh, we tried that here and it doesn't work. Oh, really? Okay. Hi, my name's Mark. Let's make it work. And something that I love, I'll tell you what, I was at a high school in Passaic, New Jersey, and I walked in and there was 400 or 500 students. And the principal said to me before we started, said, "Hey, I'm Mark. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come speak to your students." He said, "I'm not shaking your hand." I said, "I'm sorry?" He said, "Yeah, I'm not shaking your hand. We'll see how you do." I said, "Oh, okay." So it's not about me. It's about the message of uplifting this youth. I started a riot in that school. And I don't mean like they're climbing up the walls and screaming out of control, but I mean, when we got done, he was like, "Can we take a selfie?" I was like, "Oh, sure. Yes, let's do that." And that's not about me. It's about uplifting others. And I think we all need to do that. And that's not easy to do. I speak for a living. Clearly, I'm an introvert. No, but I speak for a living. So stepping on a stage could be terrifying, but that's my ego. That if you get nervous before you speak, just hear me, whether it's a radio show, a podcast, they put a microphone in your hand, that's your ego. Get yourself out of the equation. It's not about you. It's about the message. It's about what you're trying to deliver. It's about the audience that you're trying to give something to. And you can't give to them if you're stumbling in your own way because you're up in your all feelings, right? So those are my thoughts on that. It's a tough audience if you're there and thinking about all the things that don't matter, like yourself, or if they notice the stain on your shirt or whatever, or you give it to them and you tell them that you care and you show them and give them tools that they can actually use, actually. And I have two. I have two. I'll tell you the foundation of something I do, and it's actually easier. Easier. You said that's a tough audience, and it can be, but it's easier to talk to them than to adults. There's so many times adults are what? Adulting. Anybody watching this, we all been punched in the face by the world. We don't need to try to help it, by the way. Okay, so we need to mind our minds. But A lot of young people, they're still impressionable. They're still ready to receive. They're still like open to learning and things. Adults, not so much. We know what we know. We know better, bro, right? I go into Fortune 500 companies. I'm talking big farm. I'm talking financial companies that have brought me in, and I'm talking to top leaders. And this is the arrogance that I get. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course. No, shut up. No, you don't know. Because if you knew, you wouldn't pay me to come in and teach it to you. And here are two rules, just two. I know we don't have a whole lot of time, and I'm not going to drop my whole, TED talk here, but I'm saying this. Two rules. If you want to be successful in 2026 and going forward, it worked in 1972, it's going to work in 2040, and it stands true right now. There are two rules, and they're so easy that the first one gets missed by mostly adults and everybody. Rule number one, show up. Yeah, I know. No, you don't. Show up. Show up when you don't feel like it. Show up when it's uncomfortable. Show up when you're the only one. Show up when you can be the first one there. Stay there when you can be the last to leave. Listen, when I'm speaking somewhere and I'm in that hotel and they got the gym in the hotel and it's 5 in the morning and yeah, I'm all comfy and it's warm. What do you want, a cupcake? No. Do I want to be in shape? Do I want to like get woken up? Do I want to feel strong? Or do I want another 15 minutes? Well, I don't know. That's a decision I got to make. Show up. Go there, bro. You're happy when you did. Show up big. Show up big for the people that care about you and your family and your community, in your circle, at your work. Show up. It's not easy to show up, especially in the 2020s. We just came out of a global pandemic where everybody went back into a world slumber, right? It's not, people aren't showing up anymore. Show up. That's number one. I've seen good things happen, great things happen, promotions happen to people who weren't even, hear my words, weren't even that qualified for it, but they were the only ones that showed up. I've seen football coaches elevate to head coach position when they weren't head coach qualified, but they were there. They showed up. Good things happen when you show up. Number one, show up. Number two sounds impossible. So the first one sounds so easy, most people miss it. Number two sounds so impossible, people check out. But watch this. When, not if, when you show up, rule number two is, hear my words, simply outwork everybody. Everyone, every single one of them. Eat them for breakfast, mow them down, regurgitate them, repeat. Mow them down. Outwork everybody. I didn't say out talent them. I didn't say out strong them. I didn't say out fast them, outsmart them, outsleep them, outstay forever. That no. I said outwork. We all got the same 24/7, 365, and nobody's interested in working. Most people aren't good at what they do. That doesn't mean they don't have the talent. It means they're not interested in putting in the work. An old saying is from the 19th century is that opportunity is here all the time. But for most people, it looks like overalls. That means you put in the work and the luckier you get. You create your success by showing up and working it, right? There's stories, you love him, hate him, whatever. Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time in professional football. He's been and won more Super Bowls than anyone, than some of the greats combined. So there's that. No argument. There's a story that he didn't want to get out when he was on the come up, and he on a Friday night would be right there at their practice facility at Gillette Stadium. One of the coaches was there on a Friday night to do something late, like 9, 10 o'clock. He popped in, saw lights on. He saw Tom Brady by himself doing footwork drills. And he went in and was like, "Hey, Tom, what?" And he was like, "Hey, listen, can you not tell anybody about this? Like, I don't want anybody to know." He was working when no one was looking. He didn't want people to know about it, right? What you do in private will get you celebrated in public, but you have to put in the work. And most people ain't trying to do it because we're all comfy. Hmm.
Yeah.
Amen to all of that. That is so valuable. I mean, just for the two of us, not to mention whoever is listening and watching this. And I want to, it's such a great segue as well, because I want to bring this in. First
Yeah.
of all, Dr. B is always about leaving a place better than you found it. I
Mhm.
think that sums up what you're all about as well. And I think it's so beautiful that you have taken your talents to today's youth and teenagers specifically in the schools that you go into and so on. And so that is unbelievable. That's leaving the world a better place as they continue to grow. But you also mentioned how working with adults can be a challenge. And I have to say that, and I kind of want to segue into your books because
Yeah.
I've been an adult in a not sometimes don't tell my wife because she won't believe it. But well, I've been an adult in situations where I've been in a low place and I've been real below the line, if you will.
Yeah.
And at a time when I really needed it most, I picked up a book, not Show Up, but a book called Get Up by a guy named Marc Hayford, aka you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what? That book got me up. It got me up in the morning. It got me to show up. It got me to reinvigorate where I needed to be. And and quite frankly, it's still a part of my reinvigoration process that I'm still in. So I'm so grateful to you for that book. It meant so much to me. I want people to know about that one, your other two books, and which, by the way, are great for adults. And I know that you're using them as part of what you're teaching the youth as well. So tell us
Thank
more.
you, man. Thank you. It's really nice to hear. I do appreciate those kind words, and I'm thankful to know that something that I was blessed enough to create and put out is useful, right? There's a big, there's a lot of experts. I'll be loose with that. That like to kind of make the hill they're going to die on. I've seen some of the names. They're bigger names. You know who they are. Oh, wow, we've seen them on YouTube. It's great. And they say it's all about discipline. It's all about discipline. Motivation is crap. Motivation is worthless. Motivation wears off. Yeah, so does bathing. That's why we got to do it daily, right? You don't have to have like every day all the time, right? The trash man comes once a week, but I need him when he comes here. Christmas Eve is really exciting, but it's once a year, right? But it's impactful and I remember it. I may not remember Tuesday, April, whatever. The whole thing, I'm all about discipline. I was raised by my father and mother, but my dad was a Vietnam vet, right? He was all about discipline. That was one of the things he reinforced into my neuroscience as a child, like discipline. He would just say that when I feel like doing something, discipline. Yes, I'm all about discipline. However, and I wrote about this in my third book, Light Up the Darkness. I wrote about discipline and I wrote about motivation. How about this? Both. How about both? Why should I have the salt or the pepper? Why can't I have both? So Richard Branson said a successful mind will say both. Yes, I'll take both. I'll be disciplined, but it's okay to be motivated too. No, it doesn't always last. But watch this. Let's use as a football coach analogy, right? My football players are already disciplined, right? There's 1,500 kids in the school. I only have 30 on the field. They're different. They wake up when it's dark. They do everything that everybody else does. And at 3 o'clock, when everybody can go home, nap, vape, go gaming, whatever they want to do. No, no, no. They dress up like gladiators every day and walk across the street to the field and smash into each other and do uncomfortable things and run and feel like they're going to puke for 2 hours additional. And then they go home, eat dinner, shower, and it's dark. And they go to bed and wake up and do it again. That's discipline. Okay. But now it's game day. Game day is exciting. Game day is a little different because game day, you get to wear that jersey. You're a part of something. Everybody in the school's like, oh, he's on the team. Yeah, yeah, I'm on the team. And I've been working since August when you were down at your shore house, right? And now it's the beginning of October and that other bus pulls up. And the other bus, that's the rival team. And they show up with the different color jerseys and they step onto our field, the field that I had to do laps around, the field that I had to do up downs on, the field that Johnny broke his collarbone on. And I'm here. And in the stands, grandma came to my game. My girlfriend's over there. The science teacher that was saying he better see a good play for me is right there. And they're in the way. And we get on the sideline and the clock ticks to 0 and you hear that horn and I cut the dogs loose. That's motivation. It's electrifying. And it doesn't last forever because there's an end of a game, and that's cool. And the next day we can get back to our discipline. It's something you can go on. So yes, everybody needs to be encouraged. Everybody needs to be motivated. Everybody should be minding their mind in 2026 and leaning into something. And I don't shy away from it all. I'm a man of faith. For me, it's tricky. It's a tight rope because I'm in the self-help category. I am a three-time best-selling author in self-help, but I'm Christian. I follow Jesus, and I don't shy away from that. And for me, one of my favorite biblical verses, it's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Not Marc Hayford strengthening me, through him who strengthens me. All things. So for me, I lean hard into my faith as my foundation. It's lights out. I know who my tag team partner is. And by the way, when I give my talks, a big part of my talks is the adversity and journey of getting into my time in the WWE as a referee and what that looked like because that was sideways. That was going to sleep in Kansas and waking up in Oz for all you fans of the movie. What's the name of the movie? I can't think of it. Dorothy. Slippers, Yellow Brick
Oh,
Road.
I think I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Woke up in Oz when I was in the, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time and podcast. But anyway, those are
Have you
just
back.
I'd love to, but those are just some quick thoughts, and I could go all day on this because you hit my hot button here, right? Like we need too many times. This is why I wrote Get Up. This is why I started the whole thing because my time as a veteran, my time in the military, doing blue collar jobs, white collar jobs, owning my own businesses, being a speaker, being a mindset coach, being an author, speaking to people. I see so many people are playing. This is adults, kids, hi, people playing at a low vibe, just accepting, just floating around like a plastic bag in the parking lot, whichever way the wind blows, they're going to go. We got to be intentional. We have to be on purpose. You can't be successful if you're just going to show up and see what happens, unless you show up with purpose, with a plan, with intention. You've heard it before. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And too many times we need to go get it. We need to show up. We need to outwork. Which isn't hard again, because most of them don't even show up. So that's 50% of your competition. Let's go, people. Let's go. There's an expiration date. There's going to be a time when I'm not here anymore. So why hold back? Why care what people think? Why play safe? There is no success in being comfortable. Uncomfortable is the enemy of success. Bam, lights out. We need to get uncomfortable.
Well,
I
it's just like that. I think you're going to say what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it. There is no traffic on the extra mile, is basically what you're saying. There's no traffic at all on the extra mile.
No, go get it.
I can feel the energy oozing off of Dr. B, and she is ready to run through a brick wall right now.
Can't
I can
can't
assure you. And so am I.
can't
And
fake this. This is just I'm just trying to,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
authentically.
And you know what? And so to that end, as we wrap things up, I guess I know this is on top of your mind. I want to know, I think I know the answer, but tell our audience of all of that stuff, that really important, vital stuff that we've learned from you today already in a short time. What do you love most about what you do?
Oh, well, you know the saying, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Hey, there's the bell. That means this is the magic moment here. Love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That is a lie. Okay. Because I only work for myself these days and what we've talked about. And I have never, ever, ever worked harder. I mean, there's times where I eat dinner at midnight. I'm not kidding. There's times where I wake up at 4 in the morning. There's times where I'm going from one to the next because I have different hats. And again, I have this clock ticking in my mind and I don't know when the sand runs out. So I always have good urgency, but I love it. I love it. So I do work every day and harder than I've ever worked before at for someone else or a generic job or just something that, whatever. But it is so fulfilling. It's so gratifying. And because I love what I do, because I mean, again, I can't fake this, because I'm passionate about what I'm talking about and what I do, especially when I could see back to a spiritual gift of exhortation and encouragement that it has a positive effect to uplift people. Like what more could I ask for? I'm not trying to live a legacy. I'm trying to lean into my passion and um, be that something that someone might need in a moment of need. If that makes sense. And to end it, I always say we this is life. It's not easy, but we can do hard things. We're going to get knocked down, but I encourage people to get up again and again and again and again.
I have the chills.
Me too.
I have the chills.
And I've read all your books and I can hear you speaking to us as we're reading it, and it really it has that was a lot of turning points in my life when I was reading those books, and um you've just been such a gift to us in ways you don't even realize. uh,
Thank you.
so I
I'm glad for your
want you,
friendship.
yeah, I mean it's been how many years, like over a dozen years, and it just seems to
Maybe since I had hair. It
Oh, I don't know. I was just kidding.
was a long time ago. Yeah.
Can you, for us, hold up your books? Because I want the audience to
Sure.
see, and we're gonna have
Here's
uh
the first book. Let's
we
get
will
up.
links to these in the show notes, and and everything. So that's the first book.
Hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. This was the one. And I wrote this one with the same attitude I'm talking to you today, almost 10 years ago, because I was sick of watching people play just accepting it's such a low vibe. That's just how it is. No, it's not how it has to be how it is.
Right.
Lean into your success, right? Someday 8 on the calendar. Like now, let's go, right? Stop living your life like you're an extra when you should be the featured actor in your life. Like take control.
Yeah, and I just a personal testimonial, having read that book, like I mentioned earlier, and I know Belinda did. Um, Mark's words jump off the
Mm.
page the way you hear him now,
Yeah.
and so it's impactful. Like if you don't read anything else, these are really solid books to be reading. Anyway, go keep
Thank
going.
you.
What's the second one look like?
Well, second one doesn't look like anything because I don't keep a whole plethora of my books around.
Oh,
But
good.
I have the
that's
second
We're,
one
we're gonna
somewhere
put it. We're
too.
gonna put it up
We're gonna
on the
put it
screen.
on the
Yeah.
screen when we
yeah,
leave.
like I don't have posters of myself and like a garage full of boxes of my thousands of books, but it's 365. It's a white cover, red letters popping right off the page at you, and that's more of a thought of the day type book. And that came around from my wife Christina, who after Get Up hit number one, changed my life and others' lives in 4 hours. I don't know if that's a record, but 4 hours from the time it was dropped on Amazon, it hit number one in self-help and personal growth. I can't help but get emotional with that story. It's crazy. And then to hear the stories years later of how people are going, no, no, it still resonates, and wow, thank you. But 365 was later in that year where my wife was like, listen, people read it, they hear the book on Audible, it's fantastic. They need a daily. So 365's like the little brother of Get Up, and it's a thought for the day, every single day, 365 days of punching life back in the face,
Mhm.
right? Getting back up. And then during the pandemic, I was awakened at 3 in the morning, right? Stay at home orders, nobody's going anywhere. Do we have enough toilet paper for the month? Like real talk, right? And I wasn't shook, I wasn't scared, I wasn't whatever. But there's been a couple times in my life where I believe it was God given, where He was like, "Hey," and it was 3 in the morning. I was laying there and I had total mental clarity, and I followed my own advice. I got up and I went to my laptop, and it just started coming to me, like all these ideas. And then that was Light Up the Darkness. And Light Up the Darkness is only 8 chapters. It's the 8 chapters of a culmination of all the successful people in our modern day and age and from generations before us. Everyone from Michael Jordan to your favorite president to whoever who's had success in whatever their platforms are. And I've studied a lot of successful people, and I've realized that, in my opinion, there's a few more, but that there's 8 core fundamentals that are in the DNA of a successful person. 8 foundations, 8 rules. We talked about 2 of them on this podcast, motivation and discipline. They're 2 separate chapters. They're 2 totally separate things. Most people like to pick one or the other. I say you combine them and you have an explosion. But that's all in Light Up the Darkness. That one hit number one on actually self-help and sports psychology. And that's why a lot of sports teams will bring me in to speak to the players and athletes, regardless of what the sport is. And those are the 3 right now. Fun fact, and I don't want to kind of do this here because it's not, we're just in the early stages. There's 2 more books that are dropping that I hope will be out by 2030. One is specifically in the realm of mental wellness, and the other one is very much in the style of Get Up. And they're all going to be helpful for people for different reasons.
Can't
Wow.
wait. Cannot wait.
Exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
That's great news.
Pretty
You
high.
heard it here first.
Actually, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Mark.
Yeah.
Thank
Breaking
you.
news on
Yeah.
Dr. B, Flourish with Dr. B podcast.
Yeah. Gonna be a little bit, but
And do you have a website or and we'll add this on the show notes here where we could follow you, where
yeah,
the
thank you for anyone looking to, pick up books, check out the audibles, get in contact for speaking events or, mindset coaching, anything like that. Just go to my website. It's really hard to remember. It's marchayford.com. It's Mark with a C because my parents wanted to torture me in my life and never got the t-shirt with my name on it, never got the Coke bottle down the Jersey Shore, or the keychain or no Mark with a C. Everybody asks me if I'm Jewish. Are you Jewish? Mark with a C? No, it's just Mark with a C. I don't know. But anyway, so it's Marc Hayford, HAYFORD.com. And it's all, that's kind of the hub. And all information's on there. So
And like Dr. B said, come on back here
Yeah.
anytime.
what are you guys doing later? Okay, now.
All right. So, well, before we go, we ask this all the time of our listeners, and this is the first time actually. Um, we like to ask the audience, what was your flourish flash, which is
Ooh.
basically your light bulb moment, inspiration spark, your aha moment, and either share it in the comments or, take the link to this episode and share it on your social media platforms tagging Marc Hayford and the podcast, the Flourish with Dr. B podcast, and just your takeaway. So yeah, and don't fly off without checking the show notes because there's a link there to see everything that's Dr. B and BZ. And until next time in the hive, be kind and flourish fully. Thank you, Mark,
Thank
for
you,
being
Mary.
with us.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys.